Today we are presenting the Tzimisce deck for Vampire the Eternal Struggle 5th edition, also known as Jihad for the Elders. This deck is a versatile toolbox. Your vampires use mind-altering dominate powers to gain influence and undermine opponents. In combat, they can turn into bats or mist to escape or rework their bodies into monstrous forms to seriously wreck their foes. For defense, you rely on animal spies and hideous gold serpents. Okay, let's go and let's try to solve. Sorry for the pronunciation, because sometimes it's gonna be the wrong Portuguese names, the wrong English pronunciation probably, as I am not native, but I will try my best. Just perfect. Okay, so we are starting with 2 copies of Adriano Manawara. This is 8 capacity. He's an Anarch Baron of Manaus. Adriano gets 1 press mandatory each combat, only usable to continue the combat. We have Protean. How do you say this? At high level? I don't know. High level? I'm not totally sure, but I will say high level Protean. High level dominate, and we also have high level animalism. Also we have I think it's, in English is potence, like a low level, and we have 2 copies if I'm right about the numbers. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, 2. 1 and 2. Okay. Now we have Angel Guerrero, 7 capacity. Is also a Baron from Ciudad Juárez. It has the 3 disciplines at high level. So we have Protean, we have Dominate, and also Animalism. 3 of them. We have 2 copies. We have Branimira, is a 6 capacity, also is a Baron from Sofia. When you have 9 or fewer pool, Branimira gets +1 intercept. This one only have Animalism at high level, and it has on low levels, it has the Protean, Presence, and Dominate. 2 copies. We have Clara Horsog is an Anarch, 5 capacity, also with Protean at high level, and then it has Dominate, Auspex, and Animalism at low. Only 1 copy. Maria Elena is a 5 capacity Anarch. If Maria Elena is block, she burns 1 block before block resolution. It has at high level Protean and Dominate, and it has Animalism at low level. Neserian is a 6 capacity Anarch. While you control no locations, Neserian gets -1 bleed. While you control 1 or more locations, Neserian gets +1 vote. It has Dominate and Animalism at high level, and Protean and Celerity as a low level. 1 copy also. Prentice Derby is a 4 capacity, is an Anarch and a Peaky Blinder. It has the 3 disciplines at low level, Protean, Dominate, and Animalism. 1 copy. We have Susie Cano, It's an anarch, 3 capacity. It has a low level dominate and animalism. Whisper, very interesting one. It's a 5 capacity anarch. It has dominate and animalism at high level and protean at low level. Now we start with the library cards. Just to say that the crypt cards are all of them group 6. So here we have the Anarch Free Press. It costs 1 pull, is unique, requires a ready Anarch. Put this card in play. You can lock this card to give an Anarch you control +1 intercept. You can lock this card after an Anarch successfully hands to add 1 blood to the Anarch. 1 copy. Anarch Revolt is another master. Put this card in play. A Matusalem not controlling a ready Anarch burns 1 pull during the unlock phase. Vampires can call a referendum to burn this card as a +1 stealth political action. Bait and Switch is a reaction. Requires a Baron. Only usable if a minion is bleeding you after blocks are declined. Lock this reacting vampire. Change the target of the bleed to another Matusalem. Matusela. I don't know how it's in English. We say Matusalem. Matusela. Maybe it's Matusela. Other than the active minion's controller. That Matusela. Please put it in the comments how to read it, but I think with the phonetics I'm gonna have issue. I will try to double check. That Matusalem can attempt to block. We have 3 copies, I think. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. The Barrens is a master. Unique location. You can lock this card to discard a card. Draw up afterward. 1 copy. Blood Doll. Put this card on a vampire you control during the master phase. This vampire's controller can move 1 blood from this vampire to the pool or from the pool to this vampire. I think there is 3 copies. 1, 2, and 3. It would be nicer to have a vessel, but Cat's Guidance requires animalism is a reaction. At minor, only usable by a locked vampire who has block. After block resolution, unlock this vampire. At major, it gives you +1 intercept. 1, 2, 3, and I think 4. Yes. Child of the Revolution is an action. It costs 1 blood to the vampire. +1 stealth action. Requires a non-sterile Baron. Put this card in play. It becomes a 1 capacity non-unique Anarch vampire of the same clan as the acting vampire and must hunt this turn. You can search your library, shuffle afterward, hunt and or as heap for a discipline master card and put it on this new vampire. As we said, it will have capacity 1. We have, I think, 2 cards only. Yes. Constant Revolution. This is a action. +1 stealth action. Requires an Anarch. Unique. Put this card in play with 1 counter. During your unlock phase, add 1 counter to this card. During each other Matusalem unlock phase, that Matusalem burns X pull and or cards at a random from their hand, where X is the number of counters on this card. Vampires can burn this card as a direct action that costs 1 pull. 1 copy only. Deflection is a reaction, requires dominate. It costs 1 blood. Only usable if a minion is bleeding you after blocks are declined. At minor, lock this reacting vampire. Change the target of the bleed to another Matusalem other than the acting minion's controller that Matusalem can attempt to block. Add major as above, but do not lock this vampire. Probably 4. 1, 2, 3. 3 only. Earth control is a modifier, requires protean. It costs 1 blood. Minor, it gives you +1 stealth. At major, it gives you +2 stealth. Not stealth. Stealth, I guess it's stealth, not stealth. You have 3 copies. Foreshadowing Destruction. It's a modifier. It requires dominate. Only usable during a bleed action. At minor, +1 bleed limited. At major, +3 bleed if the target Matusalem has 9 or fewer pull. Limited. 2 copies, I think. 1, oh no, maybe 3. 2 and 3. Form of Mist. It requires protean. At minor, strike dodge. At major, strike combatants. After combatants, if this vampire was blocked while performing an action, they can burn 1 blood to continue the action with +1 stealth as if unblocked. Even if stealth is not yet needed, a vampire can play only 1 form of the mist at superior each action. I guess there is 4. 1, 2, 3 only. Form of the bat is a reaction and a modifier, and it requires protean. At minor, only usable if a minion attempts to block. The blocking minion gets -1 intercept. If this action is blocked, this vampire gets 1 optional maneuver and cannot use equipment during the resulting combat. At major, is a reaction, +1 intercept. If this vampire blocks, they get 1 optional maneuver and cannot use equipment during the resulting combat. 1 and 2. Govern the allied net. It requires is an action and it requires dominate, cost 1 blood. At minor is a direct bleed with +2 bleed. At major, +1 stealth action. Add 3 blood to a younger vampire in your uncontrolled region. I don't know, maybe there is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haven't uncovered. Master. Put this card on a ready vampire. Minions can enter combat with this vampire as a +1 stealth direct action. This vampire can burn this card as a +1 stealth direct action. 1 card. Homunculus is a retainer and it requires protean. Retainer with 1 life. During any Matusalem unlock phase, the employer can burn 1 blood to unlock. At major, as above, but Homunculus has 2 life. 1 card. Invigorate is a modifier. Can be used with the 3 disciplines: protean, dominate, and animalism. Requires an anarch. Animalism, this anarch get +1 strength this action. Dominate, this anarch cannot be blocked by allies this action. Protean, this anarch's hunter strike are aggravated this action. 1, 2, and 3 copies. Library Hunting Ground requires Tzimisce. It costs 2 pull. Unique location, hunting ground. During your unlock phase, a ready vampire you control can gain 1 blood A vampire can gain blood from only one hunting ground each turn. Living Mans is an equipment and it requires Tzimisce, costs 1 blood, is a location. While in play, this card does not count as equipment. This vampire get +1 bleed. They can burn this card before range is determined to end combat. A vampire can have only 1 living Mans. Monstrous form. It requires Protean and Dominate. At minor, only usable before range is determined. This vampire gets +1 strength this combat. A vampire can play only one of the monstrous form each round. At major, +1 stealth action. Put this card on this vampire. During combat, you can lock this card to give this vampire +1 strength this round, or 1 maneuver or press. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Obedient Flesh. It requires Protean and Dominate. It costs 1 blood. At minor, it gives us +1 stealth. Allies get -1 intercept. At major, only usable before range is determined. This round, this vampire gets +1 strength, 1 optional maneuver, and can prevent 1 damage. A vampire can play only 1 obedient flesh each round. 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the Qui Vive, I think here I will pronounce probably wrong, but on the Qui Vive is gonna be my selection. Sorry. Only usable by a lock minion. A minion can play only 1 on the Qui Vive between their unlock phases. This minion wakes. They ignore the requirement to be unlocked for playing reaction cards and attempting to block until the end of the action. If this minion is an ally, they do not unlock as normal during their next unlock phase. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One with the Land is a reaction, requires Tzimisce and Protean. Only usable during an action directed at you or a card you control. At minor, +2 intercept. At major, only usable by a locked vampire. This vampire unlocks and attempts to block. If they block, neither combatant can strike during the first round of the resulting combat. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Organized Resistance reaction requires a Baron, usable by a lock Baron. An Anarch you control gets +1 intercept. Also usable to unlock a lock Anarch you control. That Anarch attempts to block with +1 intercept, even if intercept is not yet needed. 1, 2, 3. Papillon is a master. It costs 3 pull. Unique location. Hunting ground. Requires a ready vampire with a city title. During your unlock phase, a ready title vampire you control can gain 2 blood. A vampire can gain blood from only 1 hunting ground each turn. Piper is a master. Requires a ready Anarch. Lock a ready unlock Anarch you control. That Anarch recruits or employs an ally or retainer from your hand. Requirements and cost apply as normal. This is not an action and cannot be blocked. There is 2 Pipers. Very interesting card. Revenant is a retainer. It requires Tzimisce. It costs 1 blood. Ghoul with 2 life. The employer gets +1 intercept. 1, 2, and 3. Sculpt the flesh. It requires Tzimisce and Protean. At minor, strike. Hand strike aggravated. At major, strike. Hand strike at +1 damage. And put this card on the opposite minion. During the unlock phase, the attached minion bears 1 blood or life. Minions can burn this card as a +1 stealth action. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Under Bridge Stray is an ally. It requires animalism and it costs 1 blood. Animal with 1 life, 0 strength, 0 bleed. At minor, this ally can burn 1 life to give a minion you control 1 praise. During an action directed at you or a card you control, you can burn this ally if it is not blocking to unlock a ready minion you control. As above, at major, as above, but this ally will have 2 life and 1 strength. 2 copies. Bog of Sophia. Tzimisce is an ally. It costs 3 pull. Unique Ghoul with 5 life, 3 strength, 0 bleed. After this ally enters play, burn an ally or retainer you control. It can strike 3 R damage. It can enter combat with a minion as a direct action. During your unlock phase, you can discard an ally or retainer card to add 2 life to this ally. 1 copy. War Ghoul. Another ally, requires Tzimisce, it costs 3. Ghoul with 5 life, 4 strength, 0 bleed. After this ally enters play, burn an ally or retainer you control. It can prevent 1 damage each round of combat. It can enter combat with a vampire as a direct action. It can lock and burn itself to burn a location except during combat. 2 copies. And finally, we have the quick reference card included in the deck. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry again for the mispronunciation words. Thank you.